Hello again, Mary Bond. Last time we were talking about the shoulder girdle and specifically this feature, the coracoid process, and how our awareness of those areas in ourselves can help us as we build new brain mapping for how we use and support our shoulders. So as we strive to get that feeling of strength across the mid-back and around through the serratus anterior area, it can really help if the coracoid corner area has some stiffened fascia. It can really help to release that. So this video is a stretch for the coracoid corners. To begin, just stand perpendicular to a wall. Find the weight of your body so you really have a sense of being grounded, and at the same time a sense of your spatial orientation, so you know the space behind you and the space to the sides and above your head. So your body has a kind of fascial expansion in all directions. Then engage your serratus and your lower traps the way we've been working on, so you have that sense of support in the shoulders. If you need to turn and face the wall for a minute, hands on the wall to just renew that sensation, go ahead and do that. And then, with all that in place, you're going to put your elbow on the wall at armpit height and in line with your shoulder, and your hand forward of your elbow. So if this were a clock, your hand would be at 1 o'clock. Now, have the imagination that your elbow could reach through this wall into the other room. Let's say the wall is very soft, or your elbow has a magic power and it can reach out into the wall. Now, if you're like me, you're already feeling some stretch across the top of the shoulder and down into the pectoralis minor and in this coracoid corner area. Be sure that you don't let your shoulder roll forward as you do this. That's going to want to happen because this area is short and tight, and it will pull the scapula forward to relieve the discomfort. So for some people, this much will be the stretch for you for today. And you'll just stand, renewing your sense of weight, your sense of the space, and your breath. So allow yourself to breathe into the lower back rib cage, but let the air come up and fill into this upper quadrant of your rib cage. To increase the stretch, you could begin walking your fingers towards a vertical forearm. So your hand would be now at noon instead of 4 o'clock. Again, resist the temptation to let the shoulder blade roll forward. It needs to stay back, and it needs to stay broad across your back. So you're working with your serratus sensation, your lower trap feeling, and that feeling of reaching the elbow into the wall. Now, I want to try and show you something. If I lose my sense of spatial orientation and I just focus on the stretch, like I'm doing now, can you feel how I got smaller? Okay, so I'll just try to change that back again, and just, not by doing anything in particular with my body, but just being more aware of the skin on the back of my body and the space behind me, the space to the sides, and of course that vector of my elbow going through the wall. And I have then a much bigger sense of myself. So to increase this stretch a little bit more, you could also begin to turn your sternum away from the wall. Not your head so much, but just your breastbone. Remember also that you're not lifting your chest. That actually relieves the stretch. But keep the breastbone resting And you're just turning the axis of your body away from the wall. And I promise you'll feel a stretch across this area and down your arm. To come out of it, just turn yourself back slowly. Let your arm gently down the wall. And just let your two arms hang. And take a moment to notice any difference, any sensations that might be different on the two sides of your upper chest. And even you might feel a difference in the length of your arms. I know I do right now. One arm feels like it's really long, and the other one is kind of shrunken. Well, I changed costume in the middle here to make it easier for you to see my shoulder blade. Here I've lifted the shoulder blade up and forward, not what you want. And now I'm showing you how the back narrows because I've lifted my chest in the front. As I begin to move the forearm toward a vertical position along the wall, my upper arm, the humerus, is rotating externally in the joint. It's good to keep your hand flat against the wall, all the fingers really touching the surface of the paint. Here you see me beginning to turn my chest away from the elbow. The elbow is still reaching into that other room. And now I'm coming back. Now it would probably be nice if you could go outside and take a walk and just see how it feels to swing your arms from that new position in your shoulders. And also you may feel with this openness, this new open space in the coracoid area, the world looks different. It could happen. One more thing to show you. We all have to fold laundry, I think, at some time or other. So it's not our favorite thing to do. It's kind of time-consuming, and I'm trying to show you how I would do it without very much awareness in my shoulders. Okay? So all I have to do is folding the sheets can be something elegant that I do using my good shoulder support and the open space through the coracoid area. And that way, a simple mundane task becomes an additional mapping experience for changing the way I do things. Thanks for watching. See you next time.